Hello everyone and welcome to The Good Old Gamer. So are you in the market for a GPU? Are you looking to build a new PC? Are you looking to get your hands on that brand new RTX 30 series or RX 6000 series GPU at a reasonable price? Well, guess what? That's probably never going to happen. According to Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang, he expects things to basically be as they are throughout the next year, through 2022. That's his guess. And as we know, the master of the supply chain pretty much has the crystal ball. The rest of us just pretend like we do. He actually has one. So when Jensen says this is going to be the normal for at least one more year, I'm going to take him seriously. So that's what we're going to be talking about today in this video, what Jensen said and how this is really going to affect most PC gamers out there. But before we get into it, are you in need of a Windows 10 key for your new PC build? Well, today's sponsor, CDK Deals, has the deal for you. They offer great prices on games, software, and of course, Windows 10 keys. Just search for Windows 10 and you get an awesome price on this Windows 10 key. And for a limited time, you can get an even better deal by typing in GOG25 in the promo code for 25% off. Checkout is super easy with secure payments with credit card or even PayPal to make things as simple as possible. After payment is complete, all you have to do is just click on your key, click the Get Key button. There you go. You can also check your email for your brand new key. Now, to activate Windows 10, all you have to do is go to search, type in activation settings, and go ahead and change key. And that's it. It's that simple. So now's the time to take advantage of this exclusive offer and get that extra 25% off by clicking the links down below and using GOG25 as the promo code. Now, back to the video. All right, so let's see what Jensen himself had to say. So, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang expects supply constraint for the vast majority of next year. So, you can read over the article. This is over on Video Cards. It came out a few days ago, but I want to read what Jensen himself has said. Meanwhile, we have and are securing pretty significant long-term supply commitments as we expand into all these different market initiatives that we've set up for ourselves. So basically what he's saying is he's planning to ramp up production even further into the future. That's good, but honestly, it takes a while for that to become a thing. If Nvidia's selling 5 times the amount of GPUs they normally do, they're obviously not going to be able to just ramp up and make 5 times the product. So at least he understands that the demand for GPUs are significantly higher than they used to be. So that's actually a good part of this whole thing. But here we go. And so I think I would expect that we will see supply constraint environment for the vast majority of next year is my guess at the moment. So that's him saying that basically the way things are now, we should expect throughout the vast majority of next year. Now, while we have the computer pulled up, I wanted to go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. I track this as kind of the barometer as to what's going on in the crypto world. And as we can see here, Ethereum is back up pretty good. This is at 31.81 in the US dollars. And if we take a look at the 1 year chart, it spiked up around $4,000 and then obviously drooped down. Now we're on the uptick. It's kicking back in. Now, the big thing here is going to be if this pushes past that 4,000 mark and hits new highs, that means there will be another run on crypto. Right now, we can just say that it's kind of holding in a holding pattern, but it's either going to go up or it's going to go down. And realistically, with the way things are going, it looks like it's going to make another run at that 4,000 mark. And if it exceeds it, like if we see 4,500, guess what? There's new sky's the limit sort of numbers for these things. And yeah, so crypto may not be going anywhere anytime soon. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, all right, well, I'll just skip the 3,000 series and 6,000 series and we'll just wait till next year. This is another interesting point that Paul and Celso and a couple other YouTubers and I have been kind of just kicking around. We're all expecting the next generation of graphics cards to be this unbelievable uplift that we've never really seen, like a 2 times or a 2.5 times increase over this generation's top-end graphics card, which would be an unprecedented performance gain year after year, gen after gen. If that is the case, if that happens, that might actually kick in a whole nother mining boom if those are far more profitable than the current generation cards. Let's say they're 2 or 3 times better at mining, and let's say the cost only goes up 50% or so. that's going to make those extremely profitable. So even if Jensen's right, let's say he's like, okay, the supply should finally catch up towards the end of next year. Well, that's when the 4000 series and 7000 series from AMD are expected to come out. And honestly, if they just kind of kick in a whole nother mining boom, this might actually go on far longer than even Jensen is predicting. But at the very least, he's saying not until the end of next year, if not longer. So basically what this says to me is if you have a gaming PC, no matter how old it is, as long as it can run modern titles, you're pretty much just going to have to stick with what you have. And when I say run modern titles, I'm talking like 720p, lowest settings. If it can do that, you're probably best off just keeping what you have and just making do, maybe playing older titles, things of that nature, until this resolves itself. But as I just laid out, this may not resolve itself for significant amounts of time. So this is a very interesting inflection point. What do you do if you're a PC gamer? Do you just say, okay, this is my games library, I can play all of these games on back and just stick with that? Or do you accept the ever-inflating prices of GPUs? Because, as I mentioned, Jensen expects this to pretty much be the thing throughout next year, so I'm going to take his word on this because he's the guy in charge of the vast majority of GPUs on the planet. So when he says a thing, it's probably going to happen. And the way that he said it is, it seems like he's trying to prime the community to be prepared for it. So this way, it's not like out of the blue type of a thing. And honestly, that's why I'm changing up the type of content that I'm going to do for the channel. I'm waiting on some parts to come in. That's why I decided while I'm waiting, let's talk about this. Because to me, this is a clear sign just saying that, boys, you got to hold off, keep what you got, find interesting ways to make the games run the way that you would like on what you have. So if you're sitting there with like an RX 570, 580, GTX 1060, you might have to find some interesting ways to make that run games that it's not really designed to run. Things like FSR can assist, and obviously that's things, those are things that we'll be testing out in the future. The new Intel AI upscaling thing that they're working on that they said will eventually be open source, perhaps that will be, what will really be needed to make this work. We'll have to see, but technology like that and focusing in on making older hardware or hardware that most people currently have do the things that they want it to do is going to be super important, because it might be till 2025, 2026 until we see real MSRP GPUs. Unless next generation, both Nvidia and AMD just go, all right, we're going to put like real MSRPs, like what they think that they'll actually sell for next time around. But you might see an RTX 4080 at $1,500 or $2,000. You might see the 4090 at $3,000 or $4,000. They might do that so there's really no room to scalp, where the MSRP is like the profitable line for mining, and anything above that just becomes unprofitable. But once again, if crypto continues to go up, which it looks like it's going to make another run, what happens thereafter is anybody's game. I hear a lot of people are like, this always happens. It has the second run, then it drops. Yes, but in the previous crypto booms, the world was not on lockdown. People weren't at home trying to figure out ways to make money from, just sitting at home. The world is different today, so I see the potential. I see it being possible that crypto continues to grow basically until the governments of the world say that they're never going to allow it or get rid of it or something. Basically until there's governmental intervention. I think crypto might have the chance to perpetually grow. It'll have its ups and downs, same as anything else in the market, but this means that it will continue to be profitable in the future moving forward for the vast majority of people in GPUs. So if that's the case, yeah, graphics card prices might double, triple, or quadruple over what they were during the Pascal and Polaris generation. And that just might become the new normal, as graphics cards don't just do graphics. I hear that all the time in my comment section. Well, they do more than that. The thing that pisses me off personally is there would be no graphics card market if it weren't for the gaming market. So basically everybody out there using graphics cards for anything not gaming should be kissing the ass of every PC gamer that they meet, because they wouldn't have that technology without us. So it's really kind of frustrating. those that built the industry are now being pushed out of that industry. So you guys pretty much know where I'm at. I'm kind of opting out. I'm just going to stick with basically older hardware. The channel's mainly going to focus on things like the RX 580 level GPUs, as those are still good, and I'm pretty sure they're going to last this entire console generation. You will have to compromise on settings, but you should be able to play all games pretty well. But that's kind of the GPU level I'm going to be focusing at for the most part, as most people nowadays will have something close to that or better. And if you can run the games using that graphics card, you can probably run, if you have better, you can run it better. So I really think that that's going to be the stopping point for a lot of people, because, people that spent $200-$300 for a graphics card way back when, they may not have options. They don't have options here today on the current market. Graphics cards are significantly higher, even at their MSRPs. So I think a lot of people are just going to stick it out. That's where I'm at. I want to hear your thoughts, though. We have Nvidia's CEO saying this is going to continue throughout most of next year, at the very least. What's the point? I see a lot of people talking about next generation, and I see a lot of people getting hyped for GPUs and CPUs and all this new technology. And honestly, I got zero hype for it anymore. Like, not even that little bit that I always have. Like, I get unhyped, but there's always that little bit. It's like, let's see what happens. Let's see, cool technology, this and that. I have no hype anymore, guys. I have no interest in new technology when they're straight up telling us you're never going to see reasonable prices for these things ever again. Honestly, I'm at the point where it's either stick with what you have and make it do things that it wasn't intended to do, but figure out ways to do it, or go console. If you need high-end graphics and all this other stuff and you play mostly AAA titles and you're okay with a controller, I suppose, go with a console, because those are $500, and that's basically going to be entry-level GPUs here soon. When your entry-level gaming PC starts becoming $1,500 to $2,000, you're better off just going with the consoles in this point in time. But that's where I'm at with the whole thing. I'm really excited to bring you guys out the new content. Like I said, I've got the 2500K. I want to see how good that's going to work out. Still waiting on the 6700 XT for CPU testing to come in. Good old Irish Post decided to hold on to it for 14 days and do nothing with it. So it sat on a shelf for a while. So that's why that got delayed. I went ahead and got the Ryzen 1600 test bench, so that's going to be up and running. And I've got a lot of really cool Linux gaming ideas and things like that. So there's tons and tons of stuff to talk about. There's tons of interesting things to do with the hardware that you currently have. I'm going to show you guys some of the cool stuff that I'm interested in checking out. And you're welcome to join me on that ride. If you want to join, click that subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell so this way you actually know when my videos come out. And yeah, I think that that's going to be the main interest for me moving forward. Is it's not going to be new hardware, because I have no interest in it. I want to see if I can get the RX 580 to still work in 2035. That's more interesting to me. Not giving these guys any more money and basically extracting unimaginable value when they used to offer it, and basically just being like, hey guys, I used this graphics card for 10, 15 years and I was still playing modern games. Yeah, I had to compromise on a few things, but it worked. And until you offer me value at that level again, deuces. That's where I'm at. I want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And that's really all I have for you guys here today. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.